Hi, this is Hemant Patel. Today I would like to talk regarding multiple interpretations, open interpretations. How the multiple open interpretations are dangerous for the world, for the society. Let me start with my introduction first. As I said, my name is Hemant Patel. I have a mechanical engineering degree from India and master's in computer science from the US. The best way to understand something is by example. So I will start with a few examples to make my point clear. One of my famous example is about manufacturing a 10 centimeter bolt. Let's say we are planning to manufacture some bolts to use in cars, trains, planes, rockets. It's a very simple bolt. I design and I give the design to multiple manufacturers all over the world. And if I keep my design open-ended, if it is open for multiple interpretations, it means what would happen? The one manufacturer in China would make 10 centimeter bolt. Another manufacturer in US would make 50 centimeter bolt. Another manufacturer in India would make 15 centimeter bolt. The point is, it would be all over. The bolt come into our assembly plant, different assembly plants, start to use those bolts in car, planes, rockets, trains. What would happen? Can you imagine? There are a lot of chances that the rocket and plane would come down to the earth. You would get accident if you drive that kind of car where the bolts with different sizes. This is just an example, probably something exaggeration, but the point is we cannot afford this kind of multiple interpretations in any engineering, science, technology, or anywhere in the world. It has to be precise. Your design, your message should be perfect, should be robust enough, straightforward, clean cut. So everybody has only and only one interpretation of one thing. If they will interpret 1,000 different ways, it can be a disaster for this world. With simple example proves it. And probably that is the reason that science, technology has advanced so much in this world. You can imagine the past 50 years, the advancement in past 50 years is probably much, much more than the past 1,000 years. And one of the reasons is this preciseness, the accuracy. Even we go beyond, we know exactly that it is impossible to manufacture something with 100% accuracy. So what we do? We find the limit, that we find how much inaccuracy we can afford in certain thing, and that is we call a tolerance. So when we make something, we go by that tolerance, we go by that limit. And that is the reason most of this technical world, these engineering fields is working perfectly fine. And we have a better world today because of some of these simple and important principles. You don't see this kind of simpliness in another part of the world, like religious books, scriptures. I will have little more talks on that after that. So that's one very simple one example. Another example, let's say a doctor writes a prescription for a patient. Very simple prescription, one line prescription. And in case if doctor keeps that interpretation open, it means when patient goes to one pharmacy, one pharmacist would give him or her a very simple medicine like a Tylenol. He goes to another, in case if he goes to another pharmacist, there are chances that the pharmacist would give us some dangerous medicine like a poison, something very close to poison or something not good for that patient. It's very likely if the doctor keeps that interpretation open. It's a very simple example. We cannot tolerate this kind of openness. What would happen if we have this kind of interpretation dependency, even for the simple prescription? Let's say some country testing a missile and there is an interpretation dependency in the program or somewhere. So what are the possibilities? It means that missile can land on some city instead of landing into some ocean. Is it not a disaster? Cannot afford this kind of multiple interpretations. Think about traffic signal. What would happen if one person or group of people interpret to go when signal is red? Disaster again. Think about financial world. If I write some document or some contract with my bank or something, and if it is interpretation open, means if I mean something about $10, for another person it can mean like $1 million. If we have this kind of interpretations open even in financial world, we will have a financial earthquake. We cannot afford this kind of multiple interpretations in any part of the world. Then my question is, how can we even afford this kind of multiple interpretations in the most important part of the humanity, which drives the humans, which drives the humanity, is the religious books, scriptures, thoughts. I'm sure you must have noticed while you discuss with some knowledgeable religious people, they would always tell you that you are not interpreting something in the right way. You are missing the context. These are the very common arguments, and it is likely happening. Most religious scriptures has multiple interpretations. There are a lot of inconsistencies. I am not going to talk about inconsistencies today. My main focus is the multiple interpretations. One book, one paragraph would mean love, peace for one person or one group of people. The same paragraph can mean a hate, killing for another group of people. How is that possible? How is that possible? It should be straightforward. It is so much serious matter for the humanity, for the world. It should be perfectly straightforward, robust, crystal clear message. Why do we have multiple interpretations? I have seen a book which tells if you kill someone, it's not really a killing because the soul is immortal. So you are not killing the soul, you are just killing the human body, which is like a material body and should not matter much. So in fact, you are helping that person because now that person is out of this human body and merged with the God. I think that is wrong. It is a misinterpretation. It's very dangerous interpretation. Sometimes I hear that the same message, same page, same paragraph means different if you read in the morning versus if you read in the evening. How is that possible? That's not good. Think what would happen if the prescription in the morning means something and in the evening it is different. It can lead to the disaster. So the religious books, scriptures, as the most important part of the humanity, and they should be a straightforward with clean-cut messages. If not, then they are not serving the purpose that they are intending to do. I believe contexts are important. Sometimes they would come to the context that you are missing the context. But at the end of everything, my main thing is, bottom line is, at the end of everything, the person who is reading or listening should have a right message. If the person is getting a wrong message, it means there is something wrong, the how it has been written. For example, if I am writing a textbook for 3rd grade, what would happen if I keep all these interpretations open? One student would mean 2 plus 3 is equal to 5. Another would mean 2 plus 3 is equal to 10. How is it going to work? It is not students' fault, it is my fault. It is my responsibility to make sure that I am sending the right message to all of those students. If I don't do that, it is my fault. It is not students' fault. I have to make sure that what the student knows. He is in 3rd grade. I have to know what did he learn in 2nd grade, 1st grade, and based on that, I have to write a textbook so that the 3rd grade student can understand exactly what I am trying to tell him. If I don't, then it is not the student's fault, it is my fault. So after all, the books or the preacher, whoever sending their message, the bottom line, the message should be a clear cut. If we don't, then there is the person who is trying to write that book or scripture has not done the enough work. Or there is something missing. It's not clean enough. It is not robust enough. And it can lead to a disaster. Look at the world, look at the earth, how accurate everything. God has not kept anything interpretation dependency. It is all human made. The earth is revolving 1,000 miles per hour. Very precise. It's not like sometimes 1,000 miles, sometimes 10,000 miles. It is 1,000 miles per hour peripheral speed all the time. Earth is revolving around the sun by 60,000 and something miles per hour. Is same, is well defined. It is well defined, and that is why the whole world is functioning today There is no interpretation, no multiple interpretation. It's just one thing, one and only one thing. So God has done His job. Everything in this world. Look at the 16% oxygen all over the world all the time. Very precise, very accurate. It's not like sometimes 16, sometimes 20, or sometimes 30%. These are just a few examples of out of millions and billions of examples. Millions and billions of things on the earth, and the millions and billions things made by the human, by technology, are working perfectly fine, very accurately, exactly how they want, because they are well defined. They are well defined, they are robustly defined, very accurate, clean cut. And that part, I believe, that part is missing in the religious world. And we have seen, in my thinking, if the rest of the world, like technology, science, engineering, had this kind of misinterpretations open, I would say this world would have ended long time ago. Even there were very few misinterpretations open in the world. For example, that missile or bombs or something, right? If there are multiple interpretations, the world would have ended long time ago. Is it not possible because of the religious misinterpretation? Quite possible. We have seen lot of fights, lot of wars, lot of killing, at least 3,000 people killing every month because of this wrong interpretation. I am sure all religions, all religious books are trying to give a right message, but somehow there is some gap. And because of that gaps, or something is not clear enough, and they have been used in a wrong way. So my message to everybody is, be clear when you write something, when you read something, be clear what are you reading. And those who are writing, I would say the scholars of the different religious organization, if they can help this world out, if they can provide the strong, the robust, very clean cut, accurate, exact messages from their religious book, that will be a real and great help to this world. Thanks for listening me. God bless entire world. Thanks. Bye.